All right, we're starting this all over. We're trying this again. The dog update will be at the end. So we just talked about that. Really, at the end of the day, what holds us back is always fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of the unknown. And it always comes down to two fears in particular. I'm not enough, and because I'm not enough, I won't be loved. And especially as adults, kids are born with this natural desire to try things. And when it doesn't work out the way that it's supposed to, they don't look at it as failure. They look at it as fun. They look at it as another opportunity to go do it again. We teach them not to fail. We teach them to be embarrassed if something goes wrong, and we do it by our actions. Because especially as adults, if we do something and it doesn't work out the way that we think it should, we right away stop and look around and go, oh my God, I hope nobody saw me do that. I am not going to try that again because I'm going to quote unquote fail. Well, when you watch any movie or read any book about somebody who's significantly successful that we read about and that we see movies about, Walt Disney, the most recent ones are Air, that's a great movie, the movie about Tetris, all of those people that are involved in that movie, they have this burning desire. They have this vision. And while they're in the middle of creating this outcome that they create, pretty much everybody thinks they're nuts, whether it's Disney or Jobs or Edison, whatever it is. Everybody kind of looks at them going, man, you are crazy. But they have this vision. They believe it already. Wayne Gretzky said that he could see the puck going into the net before he took his swing and struck the puck. Incredibly powerful. He had that vision before it happened. Baseball players can say the same thing. When I hit the ball and I know I'm going to get a home run, I know it before I even hit the ball. When it's coming at me, I know what I'm going to do. They have that vision. And when we have that vision for our life, nothing is going to stand in our way because we're going to figure out how to do it. The question is, how do you get that vision? Well, you got to think about what inspires you. What is it that drives you? What is it that are you passionate about? And if you're sitting there going, well, I'm not really passionate about anything, then ask yourself this: what is it that you hate? Because the opposite of that is what you're passionate about. So if something that will boil your blood that you'll do anything to prevent, whether it's child abuse, sex trafficking, abuse to animals, whatever it is, and nobody likes any of those things, but whatever it is that you really are incredibly passionate about, that you could spend day and night working against or for in a way to make it not happen, however you want to look at it, whatever that is, the opposite of that is your passion. When you find that passion, then you don't need to do drive. But I think one of the biggest things that holds us back is it's easy to focus on what we don't want as opposed to what we want. That's why I think morning routines are so important and why I always make time for my priming and I go through my list of roles and goals and I do all of those things because we got to upload and tell ourselves this is what I'm heading towards. It's so easy at the end of the day to be talking about here's all of the stuff that went wrong and here's all of the things that are bad and here's all of the things I want to avoid. But what am I heading toward? I know I'm going away from these. What am I heading toward? So it's the same basic idea. Find out what you hate. Find out what drives you crazy, and the opposite of that is your passion. When you find your passion and you've got your vision, you no longer need to worry about being motivated. You will be self-motivated. It will happen automatically. Those folks that accomplish something that we talk about, and we know there's millions and millions of others that don't get talked about that had the same drive and desire and passion and created something just as miraculous as the person that got Tetris out of Russia, whatever his name was, or Steve Jobs creating the home computer. He just set his goal bigger. But that doesn't mean that we have to do that. Our goal can be to be a great parent. Our goal can be to be a great spouse. Our goal can be to be the greatest plumber in any area. That is still a great outcome and a driving force. Our goal can be to rescue all the cats that exist in this particular area and make sure none of them are euthanized. Whatever it is, whatever your goal is, when you find that passion, that drive, now you're going to be able to continue to try new things because you're going to be focused on that outcome. All of those steps of the ultimate success formula are equally incredibly important. You got to know that outcome with specificity. When you find your drive, you'll have that specificity. when you've got to take massive action. Number 2, well, when you find the thing that really drives you, taking action is not going to be difficult. You got to know whether you're getting closer to your goal or not. Well, in order to do that, you got to focus on where you're going and not where you've been. You got to focus on what it is that you want and not what you don't want. You got to look to the future and not the past. You can't get to where you want to go looking in the rearview mirror of your car. Driving 80 miles an hour and looking at nothing in the rearview mirror isn't going to work out. And then you got to change your approach until you get the outcome. Am I getting closer to what I want or further away? And if not, you got to stop doing the same thing over and over again. And if you have enough drive, you'll do that. If losing weight for you is a want, but it's not a must, then it might be something that you've started a new diet every Monday and it hasn't worked out, but you haven't changed your approach because you want to have it happen, but it's not a must. When it's a must, you'll find a way. If financial independence is something that you want, well then maybe you've tried this, maybe you've tried that, but you may have not produced the result yet. When it becomes a must, you will change your approach until you find those particular outcomes. So, what is it that you must create in your life? What is it that is a must for you? Write it down and focus on it and find that passion and that drive. And remember, these things are going to change over time. And that's why you reevaluate every 6 months to a year, because what's a must today might not be a must 6 months from now. You know, I still have my original treasure map that I did 35 years ago. And I have original goal setting workshops that I did long ago. And if I go back and look at those, there are some things that I thought were must that I never accomplished, and I had really were not something that I was very interested in. I was interested in the time, but as I started finding my passions, those things kind of fell away and they weren't as important anymore. So that's why you got to continually reevaluate. But when you find that passion, all of those things are going to come to fruition. So, dog update. Harlow, a.k.a. Bolt, has now been spotted multiple times in the last 48 hours in the same general area. By general area, I mean like a mile. The guy moves around a lot. He's on several people's porches. They're putting out food. It's all down near Montague Road. So we're putting out live traps. We're hoping that we grab this guy pretty soon. Thank you, everybody, so much for everybody caring. Thank you so much for watching. Mr. Drehobel, great to see you. Mr. Lampy, Tina, so good to see you. And Mary, lovely to see you, too. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.